What's up, everybody? Welcome to the stream. How's the audio? Is the audio okay? Chat? This camera is really too bright. Let me check this. Oof. Is better? Oh, that's a little better. All right. It's gonna be a short stream today. Welcome to Sketch Fighters. Let's get all the hits right here. Jamie Odell's in chat. Daniel Ortiz Arts is in chat. Kevin P. West. Hail to the victors. El Magusi. Jane Foster THOR is up on deck today. Trying to clear out a lot of these commissions, overdue commissions. The other week was Kyle Rayner. I still need to ink that one, but I think I've gotten it to where I'm pretty comfortable with it. This is the Kyle Rayner sketch. So now I'm going to try to get this one. I've already started the Jane Foster THOR. And so I just need to get it, I think, a little bit more polished up. One thing I'm feeling right now is that her arms seem a little thin. Or
hey, can you hear me?
There's something about. Oh, what's up, Jerry?
Hey, sorry, I'm trying I'm trying new headphones, so I'm trying to see if this works.
I can hear you. I think. Can chat hear Jerry?
What's up, guys?
There we go. Man, I'm on a weird schedule. I'm trying to get back on daytime running lights.
Yeah, I know you've been working so late, and like your hours are crazy, man.
So now I'm trying to get back on a regular schedule, but it's like, oh, I'm slugging through today. I just need to go to sleep tonight. Ugh.
Did you just do this sketch like in the last 10 minutes?
No, I did this. I started it a little the other week off of the stream, and now I think I want to get it a little bit more polished. You know, I took a little time at it. I think the arms are a little thin. I think this arm is a little too long. Her right arm. I'm trying to get this to the point where.
I also think when it comes to a female Thor, it's always a great opportunity to make a buff girl like unusually buff because she still looks cool.
Yeah, she should be a little thicker than this. You're right. So, trying to find. Oh, and I still gotta scan your thing in, Jerry. So, see, if this was drawn digitally, I would have just copy pasted and moved everything over. The smart thing would have been also if I was drawing this. I'm drawing this. The smart thing is, even though this is a pencil drawing, traditional drawing, I can light box it. Let me see it. The key is to make the changes on the back of the board. Can you guys hear the? Can you hear the?
That's pretty dynamic.
Can you hear the fire?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I can hear the scratching of the pencil on the paper.
That's good. Anything new these days, Jerry?
Ooh, going through the green card renewal process. What a pain. So thank you for helping out with that, Bernard. And then just, I've been a little burnt out from drawing. So we spoke about that a little bit. So I actually took like a day and a half off.
Okay.
And I think it's helped, but it's hard, for anyone listening. It's at least for me as a new-ish to drawing comics. I'm on penciling the 86th page right now, and I gotta say it's like it gets rough after a while, man. It's hard. I don't know how you guys do this all the time.
You gotta. I mean, a lot of it is you bury your head's buried in the sand, kind of. And you gotta like
drawing things like this THOR. Does that actually help you because it's like something different,
No. Sleep helps. Sleep and rest.
Yeah, sure, of course.
And then something else like sleep, rest, and I think like finding an activity, like exercise, some kind of personal activity.
Yeah, I mean, exercise is good for everyone's life, no matter what you're doing. It's always helps.
I think that is ultimately that's gonna be the. And then when you're finished, your book, it doesn't happen so much now. But if there's like a lift of like weight lifted every issue, it's like this weight is lifted off of your shoulders a little bit. But then in terms of from like a monthly book perspective, the very next day the weight gets put back on, But I'm sure when you're done with it, you're gonna feel like there's this pressure that's been lifted. Which will be good, but then I think maybe at some point you're going to be like, well, what am I going to do with myself? And you're going to get right back into it. So, Jane Foster THOR. Did you see last week's Kyle Rayner?
Yes, I did. Okay. That was a nice drawing, man.
Thanks. Yeah, I still need to ink that. I'm thinking if I can
It was a lucky commission for somebody, right?
It's Carson's.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. If this is if I can lock down this pencil drawing today, then I might do a little ink on that. Try to ink that one up, but okay. So what I did was, you can kind of tell I moved the arm over. I buffed it up a little bit. Normally, I would not have erased it first on the front. I would do the redrawing on the back, and then once I'm happy with it, then I erase the front. But this time I just went ahead and erased it anyways. I think that the key is don't be afraid to erase. I
think some people probably get scared of erasing because they lose all the work that they just put in.
Yeah.
But the way I look at it is, your first initial drawing, even if it's wrong, even if you spent a long time on it, but if it's wrong, it's almost like a study, right? So it helps you make the next time you draw it quicker and better. So,
Right.
if that makes anyone feel better, like, before they have to erase a whole arm or something like that.
The more you draw it, the better you're gonna get. So, how are your Mets?
They won today in extra innings. It was pretty good. You know what hurts was I got offered tickets for today or tomorrow's game if I wanted to go because they're both day games. And I love day games,
Yeah.
But I think I'm just too busy. I got too much stuff to do right now.
Is that with B Yang?
He's back in LA right now.
Oh, okay. Day games are great. I mean,
Yeah, I love baseball day games. They're really the best thing.
they're really relaxed. They're great for drinking. You have a couple
And
of
eating everything, right?
have a couple of cold beers. You sit out there, relax, get some sun. Like I went and ran errands this morning, just so I can get out of the house and get some sun. It's the first time I actually left the house since last Wednesday.
Jeez.
I got to get out of the house more often. Really
Yeah,
become
you
like a
do.
hermit. So, how's the weather in New York?
It just got cold again. It's ridiculous. And so I don't know if you got allergies.
Yeah.
But if you do in New York, it is a nightmare because everything blooms and dies, blooms, dies, blooms, dies. So I wonder, like Jamie Odell, are you going through allergies right now? Because if you are, man, this is rough.
I never had allergies when I was a kid, and as an adult, I started developing them, which is kind of weird, but
Oh yeah,
that
me
happens.
too.
I
It's
guess
the worst.
yeah. And at one point, before I moved downtown, um, I was living in Hollywood Hills, and basically, I'm in the mountains, so there's a lot of foliage, and it was like that's when the allergies first hit me. I couldn't breathe I couldn't sleep because my nose and congestion was so bad initially when it came on. Now I'm downtown, it's a little bit better because there's not a lot of trees. It's all concrete and steel. But New York, I mean, you're near a park. There's a lot more parks in New York too. So
Yeah, I guess I never even thought of that. You would think there'd be more parks in LA, huh? Because of the weather, but
yeah, I mean,
there really aren't any.
there's hardly any parks depending on where you live. But yeah, I always have this. I wanted to during the pandemic. I would go to the beach at least once a week, ride the bike,
Oh, that's nice.
but I haven't done that in a while. Just need to get out of the house. I ran all the errands were by USC, so a lot of co-eds walking around. It's like 73, 72, 73 degrees today. Typical day in LA.
That's nice.
I've been thinking about
It's
going back
perfect weather.
yeah, I've been thinking about going back to the gym, using the gym at USC. So, anybody have any insights on Jane Foster THOR? I think what is this? I don't know about this hammer. This hand looks a little weird. The arm is a little beefed up. I think it's still a little too long. I want to go without the light box.
I think Sugar Sean is here.
It is me. How's everyone doing?
What's
Look
up,
at
Mr.
Jared,
Chen?
able to make it in today, as opposed to always like having a color or.
Oh, I'm penciling right now, but I'm just, so like Tuesdays actually, it's getting hard for me just because I got to work at our art store. So I'm just like standing all day, and then by the time I get home, like I just pass out. And I just woke up like a couple minutes ago.
Did you eat dinner yet, or
Yeah.
you haven't eaten?
No, I did eat. I basically I get home. Luckily, my beautiful wife has dinner waiting for me, and then I just pass out right after.
Nice.
Like a man.
Just so tired.
Do you come home and you like do the traditional sitcom thing where you pour yourself a glass of whiskey, and then
I wish like I've just been I've really been making an effort to not drink so much anymore.
What?
I've always felt weird that
you lose your identity.
Gosh, thanks, Sean.
And I'm the worst. If you have a friend that's like an alcoholic, I'd be the worst. Like, how do you show up to me if you're not an alcoholic? I don't know. Good. Join the ranks of the teetotalers, like me.
Do you guys know anybody that has like a dad that comes when they come home from work, from like a 9-to-5 job, that they come home and they pour themselves a glass of liquor and sit there and
isn't it usually a beer?
Or a beer, like a traditional, like a beer, like just like a traditional TV sitcom, like that's the traditional American family experience. Like, is that just something from like Hollywood, or is that something that's real? Like people actually.
I think everyone drinks a beer when they come home, right?
I don't do that. Do you do that, Sean? You don't do that. Did your dad do that,
Not
Sean?
me.
Did your dad when he came home from the doctor's office?
No. On the weekends, like after he would help build my uncle's house, and then they would just drink beer after doing a lot of like carpentry or something.
Oh. Was he a surgeon or was he like a general practitioner?
He was an ENT, ear, nose, and throat.
Oh, interesting. Well, what do you think of this Jane Foster THOR? I think I've changed it up. I had done a Jane Foster THOR before, many eons ago, and when I went to go try to ink it, I looked at it and I was like, ugh, I don't like it.
Well, what about it? Was it the pose?
It was the overall pose. Here, let me find it. The overall pose, it's just
fun to draw.
It felt stiff.
Yeah, that seems to be your one complaint about, like, it's like the next morning.
This was the first one.
It's always, but you can have a thriving comic book career and be stiff. Some of the best living legends out there have never drawn a figure that wasn't stiff.
Sometimes I wonder if I should just do a standard pose. That's like what a lot of people do. They just do like a standard pose, but they draw the shit out of it.
Yeah, it's the Travis Charest.
Yeah.
Travis Charest.
It's the Travis special.
Yes.
It's just
it is special. It's standing there, but man, it's drawn so well. Like all the hair and texture and everything.
So I'm wondering if I should just do that. I feel like I'm trying to up myself every time. It's
no background. It feels really weird doing a standard pose with no background. It's like you're doing a style guide art or like the front view of a 3-view turnaround. It's to me, it's just not. Like, I don't know who would pay for that, but I guess. I mean, I put every character.
I paid for one of those from Travis.
Well, okay, Travis has a special carve out because it's so good.
And I'd pay again.
Yes. It doesn't get any better when he puts other stuff back there, so it's perfect. But yeah, I mean, one of the reasons that I draw, like if you ever see any drawing of mine that doesn't have a massive cityscape aerial view with 3 dimensions with windows and all that detail and like billboards, it's because it comes from the day that I was incredibly self-conscious about the main subject. Like I can't draw it. So human beings are very difficult to draw because they're organic and you really have to just feel your way through it. But the thing is with background, it's man-made objects, it's perspective. It's like math. It's like as if you're autistic. It's something you can really latch onto and understand. But the figures are just weird. I mean, there's no like real structure there, but it's all like organic. So yeah.
There's no empathy.
I think for one of the first times I drew a figure without any backgrounds on it, and drawing backgrounds, that's hard work. But every single one of my commissions, every drawing I have, even a lot of panels, they have like full backgrounds. But I just posted the Supergirl and Crypto drawing, and that's just on a white background. It's just.
You feel naked?
One of the things that's bad about it is like if you're drawing the figure and let's say like her hair is blonde, and if it's catching light and the light is really just flooding the surface, it's the white spot on that body that's as bright as the sun. But the problem is your entire paper is whiter than that spot, so it just basically waters down any type of lighting effect. It's just lost because the whitest thing is everywhere. So you just gotta fill it with gray or something, just so that the white spot goes back into her, the highlight of her nose or the whites of her eye, or wherever the light is hitting. The important thing, eye has to go there, and anyone who leaves the page open, I think that's why Travis Charest also he puts this like yellow halo around things just to show that it just makes the whitest part of the figure the whitest part by putting that, I don't know what it is, that kind of orangish yellow glow around the entire figure.
Like an outline? Are you talking about the outline that he puts on there on his pieces?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's also not just an outline. It seems to like be airbrushed, like almost like it's like a stain or something.
I think we should, maybe one of these times, we should do. I mean, a lot of his is in the rendering, right? Would you say it's in the? Would you say most of his commissions are inked, or inked or has some kind of tone, right? Some kind of color to it, or one or two hits of color. But I think a lot of it is in the technique of the inking, like the textures.
Yeah, it's really the texture. I mean, he does like the tattered cape and the wrinkly gloves and all like the seams in the outfit, and then there's metal parts, and like if they have like any type of fur on them and the hair, it's, if you look at it, I mean, you can look at it, from a distance and you're like, oh, that's pretty good, but then the closer you get, the better the art gets.
So it's a little bit like a optical illusion then, something where, I mean, is that, I mean, Travis is an amazing artist. Should we try to spend a stream rendering the same, basically like taking the same base drawing and rendering it a couple different ways, just to see, would that be of interest to certain people?
Different treatments
Different
and stuff.
different treatments of rendering, like one keeping it very simple, and then another version of going into it, and then one with like doing grayscale, gray tones. Curious if anybody would have any interest in that.
I think one time there's this inking thing where a guy who just has this I think it might be a Jim Lee drawing, and he brings it around the artist alley and gets like so many different people to ink it. So you can see Kevin Nolan ink it. And the guy gave it to me to ink, and I'm like, oh, okay. But the guy has like 100 of the same drawing inked in different ways.
From different people.
Yeah. I mean, really big people like Kevin Nolan and
Sean Chen.
No, I did not do one. I would like to see. I'd like to see Jerry's take on it because you definitely have a style that's recognizable from. I mean, it's unique.
Well, then I guess it would be a rendering, like a inking stream, where I just where we take a blue line and then ink it. What if I took one of your pieces? If I took one of Jerry's pieces, or I took one of Sean's pieces, and inked it, would that be interesting?
Well, do you do the Kevin Nolan thing where, like, a lot of times Marvel will get a bad penciler and like, oh god, we can't print this, and then they say give it to Kevin Nolan, and then in the end it becomes a Kevin Nolan comic because he redraws everything.
Yeah, very very heavy-handed. Well, I mean, that would be the thing, right? It would be very, I don't know. I'm trying to figure out. We're still figuring out programming for this next chapter. That might be the programming. Is the programming is to figure out what the programming is part of the programming.
Yes.
Well, speaking of inking, Sean, did you get a chance to go to the Mobius and Klaus Janson art show?
What? There's a Mobius?
Yeah, it's up right now. The one on was it 24th Street or something? I went to the opening last week with Jerome and a couple other guys. But it's pretty cool because like we snuck into the private office and they had an original Frank Miller Sin City drawing up. So a couple Mike McMillan watercolor pieces.
Oh wow!
A whole bunch of them. I took a bunch of pictures of all the originals. It was just really cool. I mean, Mobius. I mean, give me a break. I don't know about everyone listening, but I love Mobius.
Oh,
His
yeah,
work is just it's
I don't
amazing.
even know what. It's so simple. I really don't know what it is about it. But if you try to imitate it, you will never get as good. And I don't know what it is about it. But there is one guy who's very, very good. I think he does this comic called The Fall. He's European, and he does a really good Mobius-like. And you go into his comments every time he posts something, and everyone says like, "Wow, it looks like Mobius." And he has to like come up with this canned response, maybe like several times a day, of like, "Yeah, I was heavily influenced by Mobius," and he just has to write that several times a day. But Mobius is one of a kind.
Do you have a Mobius piece, Jerry?
A print, like a signed and numbered print by him.
Which one did you get?
It's like just some random sci-fi scene. Maybe it's from a comic that I just don't know about, but it's a color piece. It's like
Star Gazer.
It's like 18 by 24 or something like that. I bought it before he had passed. Kind of thank God, because the price was very affordable.
What was the subject matter? Was it like a?
It's like a city scene.
Oh, okay.
It's like these. I don't even know, like those characters of his with the long hats.
Oh yeah.
Like standing on the ledge of a building, looking down at a city.
Like the Conehead hats?
Yeah. I mean, I personally love the piece, obviously. I mean, I bought it, but like I said, I'm very grateful I had bought it before he had passed, because then I'm pretty sure the price would like triple.
Yeah, he's incredible.
His the show, the pieces they had up there, he had about let's say about 20 pieces. Most of them were color guides, and they were going for like 2,400 to $3,000 each, and they're very, very small. I mean, some were literally like a post-it size, like 3 by 3 inches. Most were probably around like 8 by 10. And I think he had like 2 or 3 originals up there.
I gotta go check that out.
Was there an occasion
Yeah,
for
it's,
the?
well, sorry.
Was there an occasion for the exhibit? It's just a. No
So it's like a
occasion.
comic gallery in the gallery section of New York. And the Klaus Janson show is the primary show, which was cool because he does have like the Frank Miller Daredevil pages hanging up in there, and a lot of like. So there you'll see some of Frank Miller's work, John Romita's work, of course his own penciled and inked work, and then it's the gallery is pretty small, but they had this extra office room that they cleared out, so it's pretty small, that office room, and they turned it into an annex room is what they called it, and that's where all the Mobius work is. Let me see if I can pull up a link to it.
I had to do a commission recently.
LeBon.
Oh, the Philippe LeBon. Okay, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll put a link of it in the chat for everyone. And they had the Paul Pope show. They had a Mike Mignola show. They had a Frank Miller show.
So I had to do an homage to that Frank Miller Wolverine thing, the close-up of the head with his finger saying the come here type finger thing.
Yeah.
Do you know that cover?
What was that?
I would like to hear. Someone commissioned it, but I would like to hear your, like, if you were to critique it as if you didn't know it was Frank Miller and what you thought of that cover.
Well, what do you think of his new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cover?
Oh,
that was
I
a
don't
fun
understand.
conversation that me and Jerome had.
I appreciate his place in the industry. I just don't think that draftsmanship was his strong suit. But his ideas, like what he drew, was way more important than how he drew, because how he drew was like, man, I had to look at that one cover for so long because I was doing like an homage to it with Weapon X Wolverine. And I was like, wow, there's something wrong there. There's something wrong there. And man, I just don't know if people look at it that carefully, or even if you have to look at that carefully, but it's not that great. But then it's iconic, even though not that great.
Well, he's also, I mean, in his defense, he's worked a lifetime to have the privilege of, like doing that. Well, any of his recent work.
Well, the stuff he was doing where he was really influenced by Lone Wolf and Cub, like the what was that? And when he had his style that was very high contrast, like that stuff was actually really good.
Sin City?
Yeah.
Well, the first one is really damn good, actually. I mean, his Daredevil stuff was pretty awesome, and obviously his Dark Knight.
Yeah, so it's what he drew, not really how he drew, because that idea of what Daredevil is bounding off a building and it lands on a telephone line that has snow on it, and the snow hovers in midair as the wire bends down. That's comics history right there. And I was like, wow, that guy has the ability to just take a moment and then it just transcends. It's just amazing. But
let me pull it up.
Pull what up though?
The original Frank Miller. Let me pull up the original Frank Miller.
The Wolverine cover or the Daredevil?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now we can.
Do you guys own his Dark Knight Artist Edition book?
I don't. Dark Knight was good. I like that.
Yeah, I have the Artist Edition book. It's pretty sweet.
And when it comes to the maybe it was Dark Knight or maybe it was something else. Like Klaus Janson inked it, and Frank Miller has the original, but also Klaus Janson has the original too. And sometimes there's 3 originals on the same page circulating out there, pretending to be the actual page. And I think what it was is like Frank is hard to please, so he'll have Klaus ink it, and he's like, nope, and then he would ink it himself, and there'll just be like 2 versions of #1 cover. And meanwhile, someone paid maybe like $1,000 or a couple $1,000 for a cover that didn't see print, or did like a page that didn't see print.
Sean, you talking about
Well,
this
You know,
this cover right here?
yeah, actually, it looks a lot better from far away. But yeah, it's. I think it's got issues.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Hold on. Let me pull up yours.
Well, no, I was just
yes.
man. Did you see that one cover? Like when we're talking about backgrounds and how they shouldn't stay white, the perils of taking a background and making it not white. Did you see that one story I put up where the background bled onto the figure, so I tore it up and started again?
Yeah, that reminded me of the prank that we pulled on Sean at San Diego.
What's the prank?
Yeah, I don't appreciate pranks, by the way. So.
We played a prank on Sean in San Diego. This is an old. Hold on, let me pull up this Wolverine thing first.
Yeah, so the thing about like the prank is that you wanted someone to commission something and then tear it up in front of me. So that's good for most artists, but when you commission me to do a piece, it takes me about 4 hours to do it. And then it's just like waiting, like the joke was going on for so long, and then pretty soon it's like the guy's like, I have to tear this up because he's been working on it for hours. And it's just like a head. And then when it was done, it's like you rip it up and it's like that somehow it just didn't land because I thought I was gonna do like 10 minutes, a 10-minute drawing, but it just went on and on and on and on. And after a while, the guy's like, "Oh." And then he tried to buy me a drink afterward, and he apologized and
yeah,
stuff.
we got a guy like to commission a drawing from a sketch from Sean, and we paid Sean, for the sketch, but then we said, all right, when you pick it up, I want you to like seem really dissatisfied with the sketch or disgusted, and like rip it up in front of him. We wanted to elicit a reaction from Sean. I mean,
That's so mean.
Sean is so stoic. So the guy reluctantly did it, and I remember that day. I was like, Sean, are you done with the sketch yet? No, he's like, he's really being meticulous with the drawing. I'm like, Sean, just finish it. Like, just finish it.
Yeah, I started suspecting stuff because the guys are like, just anything will do. Just like, yeah, just anything will do. Like he was trying to hurry me along as well. Like this is kind of strange.
Where is Sean?
And then, how did you react, Sean?
He was a little
I was shocked at first,
he was a little
but
stunned.
then, but then like it's like nothing really added up. So it's like, why would he like encourage me to go faster? And it's like he'll accept anything, and then look at it and then tear it up. So the two don't match.
All right. So this is Sean's Frank Miller homage. Next to this is the Weapon X version. That helmet is difficult to draw because it's like a conglomerate of like different odd shapes and gadgets and.
Yeah, Barry Windsor Smith.
This is a little it's a little bit more, I would say, like the inking on the hands, on the hand with the claw, very Barry Windsor Smith / Bob Layton, a little bit.
Yes.
And you compare that to the Frank Miller. The Frank Miller, and I see, okay, I noticed that you have his shoulder kind of moving down a little bit, whereas Frank's shoulder is kind of even. Or the shoulders are kind of even. So obviously Frank's the right hand of the Wolverine is, if we were to connect the whole body out, if we were to draw the whole body out, it would not fit. It's as if his right arm, his forearm's been cut off, and it's completely. I mean, basically, he drew the face. He drew the right and the left hand, and then he just kind of drew the body behind them without really kind of connecting it. Would this be another subject to take? You know, some
I
of
don't
these,
know.
some of these kind of classic, but it would take so long. How long did it take for you to do that commission?
It's a painted one, so I don't know. It took a while. Everyone wants color now, and
Yeah. What about this one? Who did this one? I wonder
someone else did it.
I wonder how many people have homaged this this cover.
It's weird. Like, I think the problem is his head is perfect, straight up and down, facing forward and roughly centered, and then that hand with the claws on it is perfectly straight up and down.
Yeah.
And then his shoulders are even, and his body is facing directly forward. So everything is just. You know,
I think it's just someone else's hands underneath Wolverine into his face.
Yeah, it's almost like like someone else's hand snuck underneath him, and I mean, it's here's the original. Look at this. Is this the original? Somebody has this original cover.
Oh wow!
Is it Carl Troy?
Probably. Look at this.
It's that guy who used to write for Seinfeld. That guy.
Maybe this is a recreation.
Yeah, there's no way there's red on the original.
Well, I think that's
red. Color hold. Red means color hold.
Yeah, and like you can see, like the rest of the stuff is cut out, taped on. So this could be a production. Maybe it's just a black. The inks
You see his like his mutton chop things, his sideburns that go down. You see how like they're all it's shiny and it's cylindrical. Has that? It's like I don't know. Like if you look at how Travis does it or how Barry Windsor Smith does it, it's more wild. But it's almost like he puts curlers on there and he went to a salon and had it trimmed.
Right.
And then sprayed it and everything. Put a little shine there.
Well, his teeth too. Listen, the more you look at it, the more the more like his canine, his teeth are really big. I would say his teeth should be, they're almost cartoonishly big.
And he has that weird, his flat top hair.
So yeah, his right shoulder. How would we do this if we were to?
Oh, you're gonna fix a Frank Miller drawing on the internet? That's dangerous. You can get canceled for that.
If we had, I mean, how would you? Basically, I think this is what he did. If this was the piece of paper, he probably drew the head. He probably drew this.
He obviously didn't draw out the body. He just drew the hands afterwards.
Then he just drew the shoulders. Because if you're gonna draw the head, you gotta draw the whole body out. I think a lot. I mean, I'm guilty of this at times. A lot of people are guilty of this at times. But if we were to draw it out, you could do it.
In animation school, they tell you very early on that nothing can be symmetrical. Like is the head really straight up and down and looking forward, and then if so, then does the whole body follow suit because his shoulders and everything is just straight up and down.
It would be, yeah. We're getting into the territory where we're like correcting stuff.
Yeah, you can't do that because they're Someone tried to do it with like the J. Scott Campbell, like to fix a J. Scott Campbell drawing, and man, that person was slaughtered for doing that.
This hand, his left hand, the come hither hand, is a little bit closer, so it should be bigger, which is accurate.
It's bigger, but then the hand that's close to his head I think is too small in the Frank version.
Yeah, it's a little small.
I mean, it's the right size, but in comics, I think it's too small.
Because basically his shoulders would be like slunched in. It's almost, he's bringing his shoulders in, and he's going like this, right? So if that's the case, like to do this, I'm already feeling my shoulders coming in, rounding forward.
It hurts to do that.
Yeah.
I did that pose. It kind of hurts.
What if we did this pose, but we did it with a different character?
I think people do that a lot.
Like X-23.
I mean, this one came up before the. What was the other one where the Hulk is on the reflection of the claws?
Oh, yeah, that's a
one.
Huh?
Yeah.
Who drew that one?
Todd McFarlane, right?
Todd McFarlane, yeah. So this one was definitely before Todd McFarlane one. I guess Todd McFarlane one maybe or may not have been influenced by this one. There it is. This one right here.
Thinking of Todd McFarlane, like he does a lot of these interviews, and they're not really publicized. He's like kind of a big whale in this business, and he'll go on like a small podcast if he likes you, or if and you can hear him talk stuff. One of the things he said is that he doesn't get why a lot of artists these days jump right to doing just covers, because they don't want to bother with the interiors. Because financially, you can get a lot more money and do a lot less work, and they think they've kind of found a hack to just making it in this industry. But what Todd is saying is that he can go to any convention and find that cover artist and sit down next to him and say, like, all right, what are you charging for commission? And they'll say, like, $400 or something. And then Todd said he can always add a zero to the end of that, and that's how much he charges. So he would charge $4,000, and he would do one drawing and be done. And meanwhile, that guy who's getting $400 is just cranking out like 10 more just to do the same amount of money. And he says that comes from having built your name doing interiors, which in the long run is better off than what kids are doing now, just jumping right to covers.
I agree and disagree. I mean, it's easy for Todd McFarlane to say.
I know he can put a zero, but tell him, man, I've been doing interiors for decades. And it's hard for me to charge $400 for a commission.
Somebody who has this one. Somebody owns this.
Carl. I'm going to go out on a limb and say Carl Choi.
JL. Somebody named JL.
Short for Carl Choi.
So this is the original McFarlane cover.
That would be one hell of an original to own, huh?
Yeah. Look, you can see it's actually like...
It's not bad. Yeah, it's nice.
When this thing came out, I don't know about you guys. I think I was in high school or something like that. And I nearly wet myself.
I mean, you got to put it in the context. Like the other comic book artwork that was out was nothing like this.
Yeah.
You know, it was the traditional kind of thick brushwork, and the amount of lines, and like, you know, if you look at Wolverine's face and you look at the mouth and you really study the mouth, well, he's got like way too many teeth, but then the wrinkles around the mouth, like on his left side of the face, like all of these extra lines in there.
And the claws don't make any sense, actually. If you really look at the angle they're going at,
Yeah, the
it would
angles
be
of
like cutting his own head.
yeah, the angles of the claws don't really. I mean, they're too horizontal. They should be slightly in. You know, like the furthest one on the end should be a little bit maybe higher. But again, I hesitate to like start correcting some of this stuff. But just looking at it, the black and white, and you look at the nostrils. Even I think like the nostril indicators on the in the mask, almost cartoony.
Well, Todd would he himself would admit he is far from being the best artist. And you know what's also true is that he wasn't even that good of a writer. But it's Todd McFarlane. I don't know what it is. He has like a certain, like I said, it's not how you draw; it's what you draw. Like this idea here, it's just so.
It's
cool.
still awesome. I don't care what anyone
Yeah.
says. I think this
Yeah.
drawing
Yeah.
is still
No,
so
it was so
awesome.
powerful. I mean,
For all its flaws and everything, it's amazing.
these covers. I mean, this was when did this come out? 89. This cover was 89. So what is that, like 40 years? No, 30 something years? 50 something years. Wait, 89, 90, 90, 10,000, 90, 20, 20.
Not 50 years.
How many years?
Not
30 years?
Well, we're in 26, so that's 26 years right there. And then 11 to get to 3,000, right?
37? 37, 38? Close enough. I mean,
excuse us, we're three artists here.
Yeah, and then if we look at the color, if we looked at the color version, the color really.
You know, Todd on his latest interview says that he's so glad he's not working in the business now, because if he brought his portfolio around compared to what he sees out there, he knows he doesn't stand a chance.
Yeah.
That's so different, because when this, like Bernard was saying, when McFarlane came out drawing this back then, holy crap, it was so different. And I just think if Todd was, let's say if he's 20 years old today, he wouldn't draw it. He'd do something different, right? He'd still blow you away with something different, you know?
Yeah, I would think so.
I'm trying to find an original, not the recolored version, the digital recolor. I'm trying to find
so maybe, I think he himself said he was not the best artist, and I think he also admits that he's not the greatest writer. So if those are two things that make comics, then what does he have? Like what I think it is, he is probably the best businessman in comics, and also like in terms of like the idea, just like Rob Liefeld, who'll draw something that just like captures your imagination and then just makes your jaw drop. And it doesn't even really matter how it looks; it's what you draw.
Well, there's definitely a lot of energy and enthusiasm when you see this, right? And you can kind of feel the energy and enthusiasm from the artist in the drawing. You can kind of tell that when he's doing it, he's probably like.
Oh, and you had this theory, right? Was it the Lady Death theory that you had?
Well, there's a that a lot of this artwork is. It's not like as refined as like a classically trained artist. It's like a teenager drawing their favorite comics, and so fans of comics or comic books a lot of fans tend to redraw or mimic their favorite artists, and Todd's style is easier to mimic than, let's say, Jean-Paul Leon's style, right? Because Jean-Paul Leon's style is you need to have skill to be able to even come close to what he's doing. Whereas a lot of what I think like Rob's style, some of the other artists, it's an easier replicable style for fans, and that if you're able to replicate it to some degree, to a slight degree, and even Jim Lee's style is replicable in a sense for a beginning fan, or beginning reader, collector, that builds a bond. And
Also, it looks like if your art kind of looks the same, it's sort of like a you can see yourself in him. Like you want him to succeed because if that artist succeeds, then you can too. Because a lot of hallmarks of you share the same slightly amateurish bend to your work, and the guy got famous with it. So,
there's this,
so you can too.
There's a slight rawness to it, and like I would say, like some, because if you look at some more of the other work, it's like slightly cartoonish, and it breaks. There's no rules. He's just doing kind of whatever he wants to do, and that's, again, that's like when you're young and you're drawing, and you're trying to replicate it. This is kind of how your work would look like. So there is that component. I mean, all of
a lot of like there's some Marvel editor I was talking to. He said that a lot of those people back then from the 80s and some part of the 90s, if they brought their portfolios out today with the way they drew back then, that they would not be good enough to get work. And has it really gotten that competitive out there where everyone's like really good now because of the internet?
I think that's an unfair thing to say. I think all those guys, if they were to come out today with their work, again, assuming that they were the same age today as they were back then, they would draw different. They'd be like copying Olivier and instead of Jim Lee, and they'd probably do it pretty well. And they'd probably do something different. And, like,
I mean, a lot of it is style, then. That's what you're saying.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, even Rob Liefeld, he, we all make fun of the way he draws, yada, yada, yada. But, I know he can't draw feet. His proportions are off. He draws the same feathery hair on everyone, But it's like, I was looking back at his old X-Force stuff. That stuff is super dynamic, man. And it's not like he is without talent. He is pretty goddamn good at what he does. I just think if that young Rob Liefeld came out today, he'd draw different. He'd probably
he does draw
the industry by storm and do something different. Like all these guys, I just think they'd be different today, and they would still do something probably just as excellent.
I mean, ultimately, I think again, it's like a rock star, not an opera singer. It's not necessarily 100% about the skill in drawing, although that's important. But because if you were to put, I don't know, name a pop star or a rock star right now, and you put them next to like an opera singer, well, the opera singer is definitely going to sing better, right? They're going to be able to hit certain notes and things that a rock star is not going to be able to, but the rock star still has the mass appeal.
It's the Timothy Chalamet argument.
Yeah, what's the Timothy Chalamet argument?
Well, opera and ballet are dead, and he doesn't want anything to do with those because he wants to be a Hollywood star, not like a person on an actual stage. But another thing that makes it more competitive is that the talent pool has opened up to the rest of the world. So a lot of the best artists now, like they're Italian or Spanish or whatever, they it used to be just American people, or maybe even sometimes when the Filipinos came in, they took the industry by storm. But now, because of that whole the boundaries are open to everyone, it's I think the artwork has gotten better and at the same time gotten worse, but the better stuff has gotten better.
Yeah, I mean, there's fewer books, and there's more. There's a wider base of talent. So there's fewer professional artists working at Marvel and DC than there are professional basketball players, active professional basketball players in the NBA. So, um, I mean,
So
Marvel.
you're saying you could play in the NBA, right, Bernard?
No, it's just. I mean, the reality of the situation is that if you're just considering Marvel and DC, I'm not including Image or Boom or any of these other companies because Marvel DC tends to pay the most. Um, they're publishing what, like 50 books a month, so each, so that's 100. And if you have 100 books, but let's say there's like 250 in production, that's 250 artists. There's actually fewer writers because one writer is writing roughly on average 3 to 4 books a month. So there's even fewer writers. But an artist, you're looking at 250, 300 maybe at the most. Um, and this doesn't necessarily include cover artists. I haven't really factored that in. I think if we were to include just cover artists, it might jump up a little bit more.
It'll double.
Because you have all these variant covers. But strictly speaking, yeah. I mean, I guess the other subject would be, an interior artist, a storytelling artist. What do you call that? Interior artist, storytelling artist, a penciler, a comic book artist.
Well, that would be called the real artist.
Yeah,
I'm trying to say.
But it's a dying craft in a sense, right?
It's where the art form is. It's like, do you want to be the person that makes the movie, like the director, the actor, the set design, all that, or do you want to be the guy that makes the movie poster? Do we even know who makes the movie poster?
Would you want to be an actor, or would you want to be basically a model? I mean, it's basically the two different archetypes, right? You're either acting in a movie or TV show, or you're starring in a print ad. Now the cover artist, like I look at guest artists for conventions now. I was looking at a list of shows, and a lot of artists now are just cover artists, and they say they're comic book artists, and they're comic book artists from Marvel and DC or whomever, but they just draw covers. And I almost feel like, man, this is should be like an asterisk.
Covers only.
Yeah, like they should just say cover artist. They shouldn't say artist.
But yeah, the cover artist is, as far as collectors go, and most fans, that's the important artist.
Because I think a lot of cover artists, I want to say the majority, but like there are a good amount of cover artists that would not be able to draw a book.
Oh yeah, that's a lot. That's actually most.
or even draw a monthly book. A book with.
Forget about that.
Yeah, I mean maybe one or two or three books a year, but not on a progressive deadline schedule where you're pumping out, a book a month or 8, 9, 10 issues a year.
Yeah, it's a whole different skill set.
Yeah, and it's a completely different skill set, and it's a completely different beast. So, yeah. Anyways, are we ranting like old men?
Yes. Yeah, so old men who.
I would just say, to leave it on a positive note, I think drawing pages is awesome. I think telling the story is the cool part of comics. That's what makes comics,
Yeah, it's the art form. It's the storytelling. It's the people in the trenches. If you're a cover artist, you're an armchair general. There, I said
No, look, drawing covers is great. It's awesome
Yeah.
and great for the guys that get those jobs, you know. But when I think of comics, when you think of like the great issue, like I don't think of the great covers of comics. Of course, we talk about it, but what comes first? You talk about the great runs, right? You talk about Frank Miller's Dark Knight. You talk about Todd McFarlane's Spider-Man, Jim Lee's X-Men. It's not like, oh, Jim Lee's X-Men covers were so cool, even though they were, but that's not what I'm really drawing my history from, you know? I don't know, whatever. I don't make any sense.
Again, I mean, the industry changes. You know, we're coming from an era that is different. You know, now you got YouTube stars that are making millions of dollars and just bought a $10 million house. Carson McKinney's in chat. Good to see Carson. Thank you for the sub. 57 months. Lurky Lurk's in chat. Good to see Lurky Lurk. Golf Boy Sunday. Good to see Golf Boy Sunday. Resub with Prime. Thank you for resubbing. 55 months, Golf Boy Sunday. Hubba hubba. Your Jumbo's our moderator. Yeah. Some artists are charging $800 or more for a headshot at San Diego. Oof.
Oh God! Well, who's buying that?
Oof. We need to get the names of the buyers, not the artists. Yeah. So who knows? Who knows? Carson says when he was submitting to Marvel at New York Comic Con, the list of artists who got reviews were majority overseas artists.
Yeah, so it's getting tougher out there. And whichever country was hit first by the internet, or just like that social media and the apps, I think America is kind of a shot with that, because you really have to dedicate yourself to drawing. It takes time to get better, and then you're competing against like video games and screen time. So a lot of times these other countries, they haven't really lost a generation to that yet, so they're still drawing.
Well, have you ever seen those videos of the art schools in China, where kids, like a whole gymnasium of kids drawing, and then the teacher looks at it. Yeah.
And the internet's not. I mean, the kids aren't allowed to be on the internet, so they just are gaining more and more skills.
Well, I wonder if. Well, anyways, all right. I think this one is. I'm getting it to It's getting it to a point where I feel comfortable inking. Here's the other thing. I noticed a lot of younger artists, when they're, especially the ones that are doing digital, I see like when they're going from their rough digital to their finished line art, they're skipping a step. And they're rushing to the final line art. Whereas they should probably spend another pass at getting like a pencil version, which is basically the line art is almost there, and then you go in with the ink, the final ink line.
Well, maybe that's just as good as it gets for them. So another pass wouldn't really help.
But it's the rushing to the final. It's the rushing to get to the final drawing. It's. Anyways, all right. How are we doing with time? I still gotta scan something in.
Jane Foster is fun to draw because she has different textures on her. Because some of it's cloth, there's like that rock texture of the hammer, and then she has metal things, and then there's her hair. So every square inch of her, like, one of the reasons it's easier to draw because it's all sectioned off, and it's great for watercolor because some of the hardest thing to do, like a completely like naked female figure in watercolor, is really hard because you have to just do it all in one big long brushstroke. Otherwise, you'll get like a lot of brushstrokes. But this, there's no section on her that's more than like a half-inch square before it changes to another color or another texture.
Is Jane Foster's Thor still in Marvel, or is it now back to Thor? She's like, or is she back to Jane Foster?
Yeah, I don't even know.
Or doctor.
We need your Jimbo for that answer.
All right, I think I'm pretty comfortable now with. If I were to pick up the ink pen.
Oh, do it! You're not gonna do it on stream now, right? Ink it.
What do you
Inking
guys
is fun.
think?
Good thing to see.
Anything else? Anything else? The background is mostly going to be like smoke or like, you know, mist, like. Jerry, when you're drawing, do you make sound effects?
I actually was just thinking of a sound effect and I didn't know what to do. So I was literally texting Jerome and Andy like, I need a sound effect for whoosh.
Buddha.
We have a whole long text thread of just different like versions of whoosh that they were sending me to see which one I thought sounded best.
Strangely enough, it doesn't really matter how it sounds; it's how you draw it.
Yeah.
Some of those
we landed on
waboosh.
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 Bachang.
I just remember like I used to read G.I. Joe and it would be like Buddha, 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 Buddha. I'm like, oh.
And bam, that's the best
They're
one. Right?
British.
Buddha, Buddha.
The best characters have their own trademark
Snake.
sound effect. Like snicked and bamf.
How does snake supposed to sound? Is that what?
Snake.
Snake.
It's that slight ring noise.
Yeah. Is there like a how do you do the word sound effect for the Netflix da-dum?
Oh yes. Or like the Law and Order, the Law and Order, or whatever it is.
All right.
And you can just ink a part.
Well, I would ink the face first. I haven't touched the face this whole drawing. I'm pretty satisfied with the face. But
I would ink the face last.
also, like, here's the other thing is I'm still trying to keep the lead fairly light. I've punched up the opacity on the camera. So, there's already a lot of lead on this. I'm almost hesitant. I'm at a point where do I want to draw more with the pencil? Because if I ink, it might, not seep into the paper.
Well, I mean, you could say that you don't want to go that dark with it, but for a lot of us, we don't have a choice because you draw the wrong line. You either erase it or just draw the next line, the next attempt darker. And if that doesn't look good, you make the next attempt darker. So the worse you are as an artist, the darker your pencils become because you're trying to find the right line.
Yeah.
And sometimes my pencils are so dark because it took me like 10 tries to get the right line. And and I think one of the things that Travis does to try to stop him from pressing down too hard is drawing on top of a carpeted drawing table. It has carpet on it so that if you press too hard, it'll poke through. So it forces them to be very, very light.
By the way, congratulations to Sean for reaching 100,000
yes.
100,000 Instagram followers, 100K.
This is where 100K. So this is where I just disappear, and so I've hit it. I have nothing else to prove.
We might not see Sean in the future. I think he's going to be an erratic contributor.
Yes.
Let me bust out the
He's only drawing covers from now on.
Cover artist.
Like I said, I wish it were just good art that will get you there, but it is not. It's all those like jumping through hoops like a monkey and dancing to an organ grinder to tickle the algorithm. It's all those like silly little things like the Moon Knight tissue dispenser, the running figures,
That thing's
barf
awesome.
bags, and that stuff. It gets you much farther than a drawing that you spend 3 days on.
I feel nervous inking this.
Uh-oh.
Use a green pen.
You know what you should do whenever I feel, and I feel like this every time I do a drawing. You find a big black area and then just start doing that. Start with the one that you're absolutely sure of, and then do that first, and then you just gain the courage. Like sometimes,
Start
like
from the top and work your way down.
there's usually like some body part that you're sure of. Like I know this bicep. I don't know about the rest, but I know this bicep's right, and you do that, and then pretty soon you're just doing the whole thing.
They're all just lines, my man.
Maybe I'll make some more corrections in the pencil. Feels so.
Uh-oh, you're in that phase again. You can't let that. You get spooked, and then sometimes you can't get back on the horse again. So don't let it get too big.
You're putting the pencils up on a pedestal from the 4-year-old
Yeah.
version.
Fall off a horse, you gotta get right back on.
Is it true if you don't use it, you lose it?
Absolutely, you're gonna psych yourself out.
Yeah, well, I haven't inked in so long. It's almost foreign at some point.
Yeah,
I
it's
actually enjoy inking.
You enjoy inking?
Yeah, you know, like the more I've been doing this now, I enjoy inking and coloring a little bit more because it's like I don't have to think as hard. The penciling is like where I get just so exhausted from it. You know?
yeah. You can get mentally drained from it very easily. Every drawing for me, I mean, I kind of hate admitting this, but I'm working on a drawing, and it passes through an ugly phase where I seriously doubt. There's serious doubt that it's going to come out good. And then even all the way to the end, it's like, well, I've done better. And then you look at it a couple of days later, it's like, it's not so bad. And that's like every single thing I do is like that. And it's weird. I figure it'll stop after a while, because you can't just do this forever. Like when I become a seasoned artist, then I'm like, frig it, man. If I'm not a seasoned artist now, then what the hell am I? How much time do I have left?
Yeah, like, what are you waiting for, man?
I know. This is as good as it gets. That doubt never goes away.
I'm so scared. I'm actually a little nervous.
Uh-oh.
Just put it down, do it, man. Take a picture of it first so you can enjoy
Get
the
back on
pencils for
that
the rest of
horse.
your life.
Well, I just sometimes I find a big black area and just start filling it in.
Yeah, as Bruce Lee said, don't think, feel.
It is like a finger pointing the way to the moon.
All right, let's get out of here. I think we're done for the day.
Oh,
I'm adding more details.
I never-
that's a weak sauce.
Carson
That
McKinney's
is
like,
some weak sauce.
Carson's like, finish the piece already, damn it.
So this happens from working digitally a lot, right? So you haven't really done traditional work in a while. So the thing is, you'll get back into it, but initially it's very weird. But I don't want to bring this back to AI, but you can't always look to reduce friction. We're talking about friction here. Like, it's really tough. Like, you saw me rip up that Superman watercolor that I spent an entire day on. That's me enduring friction. And that wouldn't happen if I did this digitally. And it also
Or you
wouldn't
just
happen,
drank a little bit.
yeah, or if I just said, like, had AI do it, then there is zero friction. And you might think that you actually found a hack or you won, but you didn't win, because if you just reduce friction everywhere, you'll never be able. You won't grow as an artist. If your brain just stops, you have to actually worry about brain atrophy and maybe early onset dementia if you always reduce friction. So what you're doing now, drawing for real, it's good for you. And that struggle and that pain is something you need to go through.
What is it? Frontal temporal. Are we following the same Instagram influencer?
Are we?
Frontal temporal dementia. Is that what you're?
No. No? Oh yeah. I mean, you get the RAs, and then you get a lot of that stuff sent to you on Instagram. You want to hear more about dementia? But yeah, it's like there's this radical theory about like, a lot of times when you get old, you tend to move into a house that's one story, so you don't have to deal with steps. And for the first time, a doctor said that is the worst thing to do, because that's part of your downfall. It's like if you're like 80 years old, get a house that's 3 stories tall and climb up and down every day to get to the kitchen, to your bedroom, to the bathroom, and that's actually good for you.
So you get the exercise.
Yeah, and then just you encounter in trying to you kind of not avoiding, like, reducing friction. Like the steps are friction. When you're 80 years old, it's not good to just always eliminate friction, because that stuff is what brings on the dementia. When you get to turn your brain off, because things do things for you, like people or AI will take over everything, and text to speech texting where you don't have to type anymore, like that's not good.
Well, I'm trying to.
Since you're going to be inking this next week, go get yourself a green micron pen.
Well, yeah,
a green micron pen.
I really like what I'm doing here with the glow overlapping part of his musculature.
Oh yeah, it's very 3-dimensional.
Yeah, I think if I ever had a chance to draw Green Lantern again, I would do this as part of the.
Yeah, hit up the editors and do some new variant covers. Become a cover artist for Green Lantern again.
All right, let's get out of here.
It's only 11:15.
I want to go to sleep. I got to scan some stuff and I got to go to sleep. All right, I'm going to ink this next week. Next week is an inking stream.
So you think? You think you'll be able to face the inks?
That's what I said. That's what I said. Maybe I might ink it like off stream.
Oh, man. Inking has spooked you now.
I might ink one of these off stream, and then there's the other one I want to do. I don't really like this one. I'm still waiting to ink this one. I don't really like this guy.
Which guy?
This Shang-Chi drawing. I think the drawing is fine. I don't know. What do you guys think about this?
Are these all commissions?
Yeah. These are the last 3 commissions I gotta finish. So, and then I can take new ones on.
Imagine caring that you don't like this commission you did for the guy.
All you gotta do is draw a couple extra hands in the background, like the Bruce Lee way.
Oh, that's a good idea. I feel like, okay, that's a good idea. Because I feel like I want to do a little bit more. I've had this for a little bit of time. I feel like I want to. And the other idea was to then redraw it on an even bigger sheet, but then I have to redraw it. And I actually kind of like the drawing.
I think if you throw in some extra hands, it'll look really cool.
That's a good. Yeah, that's a good.
And if you were to receive this commission and you drew all those hands and everything, that's like, I mean, I think it would be like, wow, this guy put in some work, Okay.
That's a very good idea.
Also, if you didn't conceive of this drawing with hands in it, then you never really accounted for it as part of the composition. So it has to be retrofitted in there.
Yeah, well, we could. I mean, I could fit it in there. It's We got room
that's right.
for a hand here.
Give the handy dandy backside trial
Yep.
before you do the front.
What if I were to draw the hands, the other arms in using a different medium?
That green micron.
With a Manhattan pencil.
What?
Oh, that's right.
That's my brother's pencil company.
Oh,
We gotta get you some of those, Sean. Well, we should probably give some away on the stream. Shit.
Sure. Yeah.
what is
we
it
could.
called?
Yeah.
It's a watercolor pencil with a brush connected to it.
Oh, so he invented that?
Yeah, it's
Cool.
You saw, yeah. Sean would actually. Sean is the one that really would. I mean, he's doing a lot more watercolors.
yeah. Actually, Sean, seriously, I will get you. I'm gonna put a link to it.
I'll try it out. Yeah, and then I'll test drive it. And then, like, I don't know if I can do something really good with it, then I'll post it, and then you're off to the races. Hey, 100K,
tissue,
you know.
Make a tissue box out of it. Hey, Sean, did you see the one I sent you? There was this other guy doing these things that like animated.
Oh yeah, I didn't know how that worked because
It
I
looked
was
pretty
trying to
cool.
figure out.
It's like multiple layers of things, but
Very convincing.
yeah.
Yeah.
Did you see? Have you guys seen this? I thought it was like so cool, but then like I didn't want to spend any more time trying to figure out how it worked.
It started to hurt my brain. So
I think you can figure it out. Sean, if anybody could figure it out, Sean could reverse engineer this. Let me pull this up and then we'll get out of here.
Yeah, actually, I gotta take off. I'm gonna have to take off, guys.
Okay.
Get some sleep. Right.
Hold on, Jerry. Look at
Holidays.
this. Oh, wait, no.
What's up?
Oh, I don't remember where. I was gonna say, take a look at this. I don't remember where it is now. So never mind. It's not in the.
Bernard, did Jim not give you a set of the pencils? He didn't have it at the time.
Oh no, I have a set. I have a set of the pencils.
Okay. Yeah, Sean, I'll have to get you a set of them. They're pretty cool. I've been using them on the Monkey King book.
Oh wow, that's cool. So you're using it for production stuff.
Yeah. I mean, it's watercolor pencils. They're great, but they have the brush connected to the pencil.
So
That's interesting.
So it's like watercolor. It's like colored pencils, and you're coloring it in, and then the other side has a brush, and you just add water, and it turns into watercolors.
Yeah. Bernard did a Batman Beyond drawing with him at Comic-Con, at New York Comic-Con, last October.
Yeah.
And I think Bernard was the first person to actually get get a set of them.
It was the forever. Jim's gonna remember me for the rest of his life. I don't know if that's a lot of pressure.
Yeah, we just got a set to Sun Kang. He used it while we were eating and drinking together. It was pretty funny.
All right. Thank you, Jerry.
Okay. Yeah, I gotta go.
Right.
Later, everybody. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Yeah. See, look. I think the arms it'll work out. I can add the arms in here. That's a good.
Cool.
All right. Anything else happening, Sean, before we get out of here?
Yeah, what is happening? I don't know. What was in the news? Maybe Greg Capullo is contemplating retirement.
Really?
Yeah, kind of getting to the point where he's kind of stopped doing interiors.
It's tough, man. I'm telling you. I know the feeling. Well, actually, I'm going to go to Switzerland in May. Do a show in Switzerland. Basel.
The Basel, right? Yeah.
That's a
That's
heavy
cool.
lineup. Heavyweight lineup. Jorge Jimenez.
Oh, he's so good.
Bruno Redondo.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
It's a heavy lineup. And there's another show that I haven't signed on the dotted line yet, but it's another show in this, I can't announce
Sure.
yet, but yeah, who else is in Fantasy Basel? Uh, there was a couple other Victor Bogdanovich. He was a controversial artist, Victor Bogdanovich. And then,
Controversial.
huh?
Hey, I'm not familiar. I know the name, but I'm not familiar.
He's like a Greg Capullo. He was drawing Wolverine for a while. Kid Wolfman is in chat. Good to see Kid Wolfman. Thank you for the compliment. Lurky Lurks in chat. Happy holidays, Jerry. What are some other? Oh, I gotta figure out some like kung fu hands.
Is Bruce Lee, is it Fist of Fury or
Something like
which?
that. Yeah. So I need 6 hands.
Why 6?
Well, I got space for 6 hands. 4 hands
okay.
is no good. 4 is not a good number, so I might as well do 6.
Oh, because 4
It's
sounds like death.
death. Well,
It's
gotta figure out
going
what
to be
this hand and this hand down here.
Man, it's hard to draw hands, and then you just voluntarily put in like 4 more.
I need to do. Okay, I think I'll do like a chop. You got any shows coming up?
Then one of the next things coming up next is Free Comic Book Day. Are you appearing anywhere?
Nope. When is Free Comic Book Day?
May 2nd, I believe. So it's about a month away. I'm going to be at what is it? Fanfare NYC, which is that High School of Art and Design.
The Neil Adams
show. Yeah, well, yeah.
Who else is going to be there?
It's strange, like that show. I think because it has like an educational component, and there's so many luminaries that went there in the past.
Yeah.
They tend to have like really big names, and it's not because that show has a lot of money or brings in a lot of people. It's just mostly kids and their parents. But like Neil Adams show up there, and then the last time I saw David Mazzucchelli,
wow,
he was there. So it was like it's one of those shows like sometimes really big name people show up, and it's because it's it's like a giving back, and they do a lot of lecturing and teaching. It's not about like making a lot of money.
So it's like a work. You're going to give a workshop.
And I have a couple of panels. And then there's the Forest Hills Comic Con, which is our local high school show. So I'm doing a lot of these high school shows. But I don't know if there's a big one that I know I'm going to Baltimore, but that's in October.
Did you confirm already, or?
I did. For the first time, I actually contacted them ahead of time.
I gotta get on the ball.
Or Sharon does it, right?
Yeah, Sharon. Actually, They asked me to be a judge for the. What's the award at Baltimore?
Oh, that one? That's what was that? Harvey or not
Harvey Awards, yeah.
Okay.
So I gotta follow
a
up.
Judge?
A judge. So I gotta follow up on that.
Yeah, don't go to the Harvey Awards dinner.
But then I got to read all these comic books. I'm like,
Oh yeah,
I don't want to read all these comic books. Some of them are good.
a lot of them are independent.
Yeah, that's going to influence. They might. You know
Oh,
my
yeah, you
theory
can't
about
look at
that. Yeah.
that art.
Yeah.
A lot of times, like when it comes to writing or like screenwriting, people are saying like, "Well, what movie should I watch? And what screenplay should I read? What book should I read?" And a lot of the great masters of writing are saying that that's really not thinking about it the right way, because they say you can actually learn a lot from watching bad movies. And I thought that was like, how can that possibly be? And the reason is because when you see a great movie, in the end, you're like, wow, that was great. And then it's really hard to know exactly what made it great. Like what particular like scene building upon another scene, or like some kind of like deeply layered theme or character. Like those are really invisible to a layperson or like a student. So you don't know what made it good. You just know it was good. But when you watch a bad movie, you know exactly why it went wrong. Like this part really took me out of the story. Like, this was so stupid. And so you actually can learn a lot more by watching and reading bad stuff. So I bet if you read some bad comics, it'll make you a better artist and a better writer.
No, I think no. Maybe
So you think it'll poison your mind? Right?
Yeah, I think it would poison.
When I did like the Miami, arts and design competition, there were a couple of divas, like girls, and these like actors started singing. She would cover her ears because she has perfect pitch.
Yeah.
And she can't be infected by amateurs trying to sing.
When was this?
1986 or something like that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think I would just. I don't know if I would be a good judge because I would just be. I would see a lot of like storytelling flaws or drawing flaws.
Yeah, I'm sure you will. It's hard to get over it.
And then it would take me out of the, enjoyment of maybe the story. Because I'd be like, this artist is lazy because they didn't draw any backgrounds.
Yeah, so nobody gets the award.
Yeah.
And then it's like I'm gonna keep the award for myself because I'm better than all these people.
I would give it to our
myself.
I would wait for that person, that our former acquaintance person would show up to claim it. You know who I'm talking about.
Not really, but
no, the guy that claimed he won the award when he didn't win the award, and he showed up to collect it.
Oh, I did not know that. Oh, okay, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. All right, I think. I mean, these are like. These hands are okay. This one's like. This one right here is. Let's see. This one right here is kind of like this. This one is just a regular fist. This one is like like, oh, he's like moving his hand. This one, maybe I should make this one like a snake. It'd be cool if, maybe I should make this one like a snake.
Speaking of awards, I saw this post that Sue Lee put up that she was like very excited that her book Carmilla, the first vampire, moved into the finalists. And you look at the list, like there it is on the list. It says Carmilla, writer Amy Chu and editor Karen Berger, and she's so happy that it moved to the next level. It's strange that her name is nowhere attached to the book.
What's up with that? The Neptune Awards, huh? They don't even.
Yeah, it's because it's the first time they're allowing comics, so they don't really know that I don't know
But don't
if
they
there's
have
an
don't they
art
have,
component.
don't they have advisors? How does
Well,
this?
I mean, it's like Stan Lee believed that he created Spider-Man because the writer is the one that creates it, and the artist is the one that just draws it or something. I mean, there is that school of thought that the when they're judging the writing, they don't have to include the artist. And I don't really know. Is that true? Maybe it's true for the award they're giving out.
When is the when are the Neptune Awards? I mean, Tom King
I don't know.
is nominated. Was it the Supergirl that Tom King was nominated or something? But then I also
Yeah.
noticed there was no mention of the artist. So yeah, it was the
Yeah, and then,
Supergirl.
yeah, Bilquis Elvie, who is
Yeah.
like an amazing artist.
Yeah.
And but yeah, I think they might be trying to award like the best story. But I don't know if they have to, because you can do like a different competition on like best art, right? And then you can leave out the writer.
Still, the story. I mean, you're telling the story. You don't ever have like a. I mean, a movie is still a story, but it's the best movie, right?
Yeah, there is a school of thought out there also that there's only really 7 stories out there, so it's how you tell a story that's the important thing, and that's the artists really like breaking down when certain things show up and when they're presented and what angles and stuff are a huge part of the story.
Yeah, how you tell it is integral into whether you enjoy it or not, or whether it's a good story or not. I think this one. I'm trying to do a chop. I guess what else am I missing? I got 2 fists already.
The shocker.
Yeah, the shocker.
Do the shocker.
Crispy Papa's in chat. Greetings from Melbourne. Blues Boy.
Yeah, from Melbourne.
Good to see Blues Boy in chat. Happy holidays, Jerry. Kid Wolfman. Good to see Kid Wolfman. First time chat. Make sure you hit that follow button. If you're watching on YouTube, hit the subscribe on the YouTube. Trying to get the numbers up on the YouTubes. So, Kid Wolfman, head over to that YouTube link, please, and hit this free subscribe on the YouTube, please. I think. Okay, let me. This is going to be a difficult angle here.
Man, what is the shocker? I forgot what the shocker even was.
Nobody knows the shocker.
But which fingers are up and which?
The shocker is like this.
Oh,
the shocker is
that
like
rhyme
this.
on 2 in the pink, 1 in the stink.
Oh, no, see, now I gotta delete this string.
Well, what does that mean? I mean, that's not really saying much of anything. Okay, that's the shocker. 2 in the pink, 1 in the stink. Yeah, like that.
This is the shocker right here.
All right, do the shocker, and then maybe the person who got this commission won't know what it is.
Trying to do like this like a karate chop.
Yeah.
Or it could be a block. I guess this could be a block. Yeah, but that would be, this would be the block. That would be. All right. Any Chad? Anybody have suggestions for a style of kung fu?
And hand position.
Yeah, hand position. Like, what else? What else do they? Oh, I guess this. Right? They do this, or they do this, like an L. This. Or like they hit with the palm. I guess I hit with the palm. Oh, I could do this. Yeah.
The L. It just says you're hitting them and you're calling them a loser.
I got it. Okay, I got it. I'm gonna do this.
This is all Jerry's idea to do all these hands.
Jerry has these ideas that gets me going.
And then he leaves.
And then he leaves. Right? Yeah. It's like he gives these ideas and then he dips.
That's the Kung Fu Panda. The Kung Fu Panda is the 2 fingers, right?
Yeah. this one is going to be. This is a little difficult angle. All right. Did you guys figure out your? Are you guys going to Hong Kong?
Oh, I decided not to. Yeah, Carl left it up to me, and I was like, oh, let's not go there. I think the convention is a little too new, and it'd be great to go for a second year, but he doesn't think they're going to be ready.
Bob is. They've only announced. I've only seen them announce 2 artists so far.
Yeah, it's too late. I mean, it's really late in the game, so that kind of made Carl nervous.
Especially for an international show. I mean, if it was here in the U.S., that would be different. But so
It could be good for Bob because the very first show, he's like the only artist. So everyone has to get something from him.
Bob and a guy named Alan Kwa. Do you know Alan?
Oh, is Alan Kwa? I heard that name. Is he like one of those Stanley protege?
I don't know.
So yeah, Bob should clean up there. He's like the only artist.
Yeah. All right. It's like he's blocking. It's like a block. It's like block, low block.
Yeah, it's blocking that foot coming up.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Good idea, Jerry. Okay. Now it's just how do I draw these hands? I'm gonna have. I guess what I would do is if I'm rendering them, I wouldn't put any shade or shadow on them. They'd be just a very light. Right. These faint hands and arms would just be very light. Do those last.
Did that what is it called? Artemis 2? Did they make it around the moon yet? I haven't been
They are
following
going
it.
around the moon right now. They actually went around the back already. Yeah. So I think they're on their way back. I think they're on.
That's history, right? Because of the way the moon rotates, we've never seen the other side ever before. So would this be the first time we've ever seen what's on the other side of the moon?
Well, supposedly, like they went out of contact. They were out of contact. I guess that's maybe because they were behind the moon. But China had sent up a robotic lunar lander that landed on the backside of the moon years ago. But this is I think the first time the U.S. has someone go. And it's interesting how they do the trajectory, whereas the original Apollo's was a straight shoot up to the moon. This one they did a slingshot around the Earth and then a slingshot around the moon. And the moon is constantly moving, so they had to like come in this slingshot back. Yeah, it's very
that's why heavy math.
A lot of math. A lot of math. It looks cool on the diagram, but don't ask me about the math. All right, so we got like 3 pieces to ink. I think I'm pretty happy with this one. Yeah.
You're a little ink shy right now, though.
I'm a little nervous.
But once you get the nerves, but then once you start, it all comes back.
Once I start, yeah, I got maybe between now and next time, I'm gonna ink one of these off camera, build up the confidence again.
Well, I mean, you can start with like the bottom of his skirt, like where it just goes down in that arc. Yeah. Like that's a very low stakes, very low stake thing to do. And then just that, you get the courage to do the next hardest one line. And then
I always ink the face first, man. I always ink the face first. All right, I got to get out of here. I got to pee. Woo! All right, here's a recap. Anything else you want to add before we get out of here? Yojimbo, thanks for moderating. Sean, anything else to add?
Not much.
Yeah, I gotta pee.
If you want a Moon Knight tissue dispenser, just DM me.
Moon Knight tissue dispenser. Let's see who we can raid. Amrath.
Is Amaranth still even alive anymore?
Yeah, she's still. Oh, here's someone. Here's someone drawing something. Lucien Fai. Okay.
Is he Chinese?
I don't know. Thanks for moderating. Thanks for coming on chat, Yojimbo, and everybody else. We'll see you guys next week. Happy holidays.
Most likely.
Well, let's see. Let's start the raid. How are we gonna do this? Ooh, oh. Sean, when you gonna get your colonoscopy? You sign up yet?
Soon.
Did we raid?